Hi, I'm Captain Stanford with Texas Fish Tips this week. Fisher.
Guys, let's start at the quarantine shore. Anywhere's down through here been catching nice trout. Get you some croaker. Incoming tide's working the best. Outgoing works too. But anywhere's down through here, fish a little bit, 15, 20 minutes, move up about 30, 40 feet. Do it again, maybe 50 yards. All the way down through here. Big bayou starting to hold some big reds in here. Some good slot reds mixed in there on the edges. There's also some trout up in here in this deeper water. Get here early because after a little bit it gets hot. They get in that deeper water. They drop down in there. But there is some good trout all down through on croaker. There's redfish up on the bank on cut mullet, cut pin perch. Pin perch's been working pretty good lately, and this heat seems to be working the best. But anywhere down through here's been some trout and some redfish. All right. This deep water by Hog Island right in here has been holding some nice trout. Croaker's the way to go. You can use artificials if you want to. Also, this El Reef right down through has been holding some nice mullet and some redfish. Get you some mullet, throw up on the bank. Anywhere's down through has been holding some nice reds. This deep V right down through here, some people call it the funnel, some people call it the V, but it's been holding redfish all down through here. Anywhere's down through here, find you a pothole, get you some bait, chunk it out there, put it in a rod holder, sit down and wait on it. They'll hit it. Don't get it about 15, 20 minutes, pull your bait in, drop your bait right by your boat, throw out another new piece, try it again, or move on up a little bit. But there's been some good redfish caught all down through here. This old trestle down through this deeper water along this edge has been holding some black drum and some nice ones too. Shrimp is the way to go, dead shrimp. That's the best way to catch them. You do take a lot of shrimp because you will catch a lot of perch along the way. Okay, there's been some black drum back in this old Y channel back here. Anywhere's around here, this little V right here has been holding some pretty good, but anywhere's down through here, there'll be a school of black drum. Dead shrimp is the best way to go. Sometimes you don't want to go in there to about 9 or 10 when the sun's a little higher. When it's not a cloudy day, you can see those school of fish. A lot of times they'll pop up. And try not to spook them. Just ease up on them. Don't try and throw all in the big middle of them. Throw off to the side of them. Usually a weightless is the best way to go, or you can use a jig head. But let it set on the bottom and let them find it. Let them come to it. Otherwise, you will spook the whole school and you won't catch very many. But there is some good drum all up and down through this whole Y channel. There's also been some redfish all along this channel, along this edge, especially this little pocket right here. It's been holding some nice redfish along here. When that water's dropping down a little bit, cut bait's been working pretty good all down through here on these. Okay, the 4th of July is over. It's not near as crowded. You can get out the end of these jetties. There is still some bull reds out there. We're catching a few slots. Cut mullet's the way to go, or you can use live mullet, or even live croaker works pretty good. About 30 foot of water's been the bull red's been holding, but the slots have been a little bit higher up in the water. I call them like 10, 15, 20 foot of water. Cut bait's the best way. Usually cut menhaden, cut mullet works either one, or live perch will work. North jetty or south jetty, either one will work. There's also some kingfish out there. You don't have to go far for them. And there's some jacks out there. We caught a nice triple tail the other day out there. Not bad all on shrimp. All right, these wells out here in Corpus Christi Bay has been holding some nice trout. There's been some triple tail on it. There's been some big spadefish out here. I mean, some 5-pounders out here. Catch all those on shrimp. The croaker really hasn't been working too good for me because I think it's been too hot. I don't know if you can get you some piggies, probably work pretty good. But freeline live shrimp around these rigs been working the best for me. Now, if you get out on these rocks all down through here, it's holding some mangrove snapper. There's some black drum and occasional redfish and a few trout. But you got to be here when it's not too windy, or get here early in the morning before it does get windy. But there is some good fish to be had. Nueces Bridge right in here. After that sun gets up about 10 to 12, you want to get under that shade. If it's not too windy, there's some good fish in it. There's some black drum, there's a few reds, and there's some nice trout. Anywhere down Portland shoreline, these old piers has been holding some nice trout. The trout's been out about 50 yards from those piers. I mean, it's about 100 yards from the bank is where the trout have been in deeper water. The redfish been right up on the bank, and they're scattered. Some will be hanging around some of these older piers, some of these new piers, but they like structure. And there will be some nice reds. If you catch a ladyfish, catch it, cut it up, chunk it out there, and put it in a rod holder, you catch you some redfish. But there's also some black drum along the way.
Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Stanford.